welcome to Innovate Sarawak Stories, your window into the dynamics of innovations and entrepreneurships in Sarawak. And this series is brought to you by Tegas Digital Village. I'm Fifa, your host for today, where I'll be guiding you into the explorations of the Borneo's most exciting adventure. And on today's episode, we will dive deep into the agriculture technology with a local startup named Toclan Agrotech Company. And what does this company do? Well, are they are revolutionizing farming practices in Sarawak, specifically by utilizing hydroponic, smart urban farming methods and blending it with the use of IoT. And personally, for me, this is a very interesting topic because it talks about food security. How are we going to sustain our food supplies and how we can possibly produce our own food resources within our own community and within Sarawak, of course. So, we're honored to have with us today Mr. Ahmad Azrai, the co-founder of Toclan Agrotech Company. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me here today.
Okay. So, how do you feel today?
I feel very energized to be conducting this, like a podcast here today.
Yeah. I hope you feel calm right now. By now,
Yes.
we will have occasional conversations about agriculture. What are you doing? What do you do with your company? And perhaps maybe for the starters of our conversation today, maybe you can introduce yourself. Like sharing a bit about your background. How did your journey lead to the founding of Toklan Agrotech Company?
Okay, so we initially started around the year 2018 at that time. So at that time, we started on as backyard gardeners. So me, my father, and one of the co-founders is my other partner. So we started planting backyard at the garden of our home. So at that time, we plant a few local veggies and also a few lettuces at that time for our self consumption.
Mhm.
And then a few families they started to gain interest, so some of them wanted to buy. And then so we think on why not we start like a commercial sized hydroponic farms. So eventually we started a few, I would say around 6 months after that. Our first farm was in Buntal.
Mhm.
That was 200 meters from the sea. And at that time, we started around 10,000 square feet of greenhouse with 32 hydroponic tables. And also, we implement IoT use at the farm during that time. And eventually, our hydroponic farm is the first lowland hydroponic farm in Malaysia implementing the use of IoT, which
Mhm.
was validated by MDEC. And then from there, we started on our journey towards commercialization of agriculture. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. And what caught my attention is that are you learning this yourself, or did you take any courses on agriculture or hydroponic farming?
Okay, so to be frank with you, I do not have a background in agriculture. So as my co-founders, but of course, I mean, learned from other farmers and experience ourselves doing during the our backyard gardening at that time. So we adapt on the scalability of the farm towards the commercialized size. And then over the years, of course, we have failed, of course. And then we try to adapt on how can we make this failure and turn it into a success for other farmers to replicate.
I see. Okay, that's quite I mean insightful for you to observe other farmers how they're doing it, and then you replicate it and try. Of course, for early few times you will face failure. It's
Yes.
inevitable, of course, but as you progress, you will, eventually success. So, what inspired you to focus? Because when we talk about agriculture or urban agriculture or farming, there's a lot of like traditional methods out
Mm,
there. And what actually inspired you to focus on urban farmings and hydroponics, and then founding your company named Toclan Agrotech? How do you see your work contributing to the broader goal of food security in Sarawak by 2030?
okay. So essentially, we started on hydroponics is because hydroponics itself is a farming method that improves the yield of the plants, of course, and compared to conventional farming, which would usually take about 40 to 50 days to grow. In hydroponics, you can shorten it up to 28 days, which itself is already an economical advantage itself in terms of returns of on investments, and that's why we very emphasize on delivering hydroponics as the planting solution for Sarawak. And our goal towards the Sarawak food basket is, of course, we also have a TVET program with which we have collaborated with the Center for Technology Excellence Sarawak, whereby we give free free courses to Sarawakians above the age of 18, which is in line with the Premier's vision,
Mm-hmm.
where we want to grow smart farmers towards Sarawak food basket of 2030. So that's the goal and ambition that we are trying to achieve right now.
Okay. So talking about hydroponics, I have a little bit of background because I have degree in plant science. So what about when you compare the hydroponic methods with the traditional farming methods? How does this crops or plants from hydroponic, are they have longer life shelf, or is it does it has the same life shelf as the traditional, planted uh, plants?
So basically, it has more or less type of shelf life. Usually a bit, I would say it's a bit longer because we don't cut the roots when we harvest it. So it's a bit longer than conventional farming vegetables. And in terms of the difference between hydroponics and conventional is the what we are trying to give awareness is on the planting media, especially most farmers, of course, they use soil, but us with hydroponics is soilless, and what we use is the mineral wool. It's made from I would say, basalt rock, if you've heard of it.
Mm.
So the advantages of the mineral wool itself, of course it's natural, it's pH neutral, and of course in terms of delivering the roots management of the plants, it's very efficient, and that's important for the plants itself to uptake the sufficient nutrients. And of course, we want to reduce the use of I mean not use I mean we want to reduce the uptake of microplastics, especially
Yeah,
because some hydroponics users, they use sponge, which itself is a synthetic material made from plastic. So that's one of the awareness that we are implementing towards our stakeholders in Sarawak itself.
I see. Because there's a lot of research, or even in the recent news, there's we human actually has like, without we're not aware that we actually consume microplastics a lot,
Correct.
unless if you like cut across the things that you eat, then you found the microplastics, which is something that we do not want to have in the future, or in our body
Yes,
especially.
correct.
Yeah, so Toclan Agrotech Company has also developed this thing called Smart Urban Farming System, or you yourself call it SMURFs, SMURFS, that incorporating IoT solutions. So, can you explain how this technology work, and what sets it apart from, again, traditional methods of farming?
Okay. So the smart urban farming system is actually we integrate the use of IoT with various sensors and a control system panel, whereby we can monitor it daily in real time, such as the important agricultural key activities, such as the the water quality and how much vitamins the plants have uptake every day, and how much water resource that you use per day. So that's important to reduce the, of course, one is to reduce resource scarcity, and also the daily data management, which the farmers themselves can collect the data and see where they can improve in terms of farm productivity itself. So that's one of the main features of our smart urban farming system.
I see. Okay. So, while doing all this thing, you have integrate IoTs where you can track your data, your plants in real time. So, what are some of the challenges that you face while developing and implementing your urban farming systems, and how did you overcome them?
Some of the challenges I would say is delivering the message on the importance of smart farming itself, especially in Malaysia. Generally, it's we have a low adaptation of smart farming, which whereby only less than 10% farms in Malaysia adapt smart farming technologies, and that's quite challenging and concerning. And we overcome this by by implementing our community technology outreach program, where we can deliver and give a hands-on experience to the communities to witness the importance of smart farming itself. And that's one of our initiative to overcome this, and one of the major challenges here on implementing smart farming.
I see. So, do you think Sarawak still has that, a lack of awareness in urban farming?
I would say yes, we still have lack of awareness, and of course, it's growing day by day. I mean, we see some startups. I mean, indulging in this sort of area, especially in precision farming, and that's good for competition, especially. And of course, we want to achieve that food basket by 2030. Although it's quite hard and a nuisance, but I think it's workable, and hopefully we can materialize on this goal.
All right. So, we've heard from you yourself that you actually started from, growing plants on your backyard. It's for your self consumption. Since you've growing as a company, like a Toclan Agrotech Company, how has your technology and initiatives has actually impacted the local communities where your system have been implemented? Can you share any success stories, or is there any examples of how your work has actually benefited the local community?
We have one success story involving a community farming program, whereby we implement our smart urban farming system across 25 communities in Kuching. And so far, we have gotten feedback that the veggies that they grow is essentially bigger than what they used to plant. And of course, in terms of resource management, especially on water usage, it has been reduced up to a few percentage, which itself is already impacting to the environmental sustainability in a positive way. So I would say that's one of the biggest achievements that we've heard from the feedback of the community itself. So and even especially the community themselves, is most of them are from the elderly side.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them actually uh, some of them memang perlukan this IoT system themselves.
Yes,
Even bila ada maintenance or somewhat problems, they cannot work without the IoT.
IoT.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they need it to to ease the use of the that their daily farming
daily
activities. Yeah.
farming activities, and at the same time it's actually how to say, save the water consumption,
Yes.
also the
Correct.
bills, because when you use water, it also
Correct.
like it's also included in the cost,
Yes.
like the
In the course.
farming
Yeah.
costs and everything. Yeah, that's
Correct.
cool. Okay, so since you are the one of the winner for the Gaspre Accelerator Bootcamp for this year in 2024, so what were there any particulars, insights or lessons that you learned from this program that actually can help you scale your business?
Actually, there are a few insights which I have learned from the Tegas Pre Accelerator program, and one of it is the importance of of knowing and validating your business models and work towards what is achievable and what is not, and especially during the program, I mean, networking with other startups, seeing how other industries work, and trying to learn from other industry experts as well, and from the mentors, their insights and feedbacks that that eventually can scale us to another level that we are targeting to.
Okay. So, agricultural sector, nowadays they face serious challenges, including, climate change. Like right now, you see the weather is not really tak menentu. Sekejap hujan, sekejap panas, and also the resource scarcity. How does Toclan's Agrotech Company or your system, the Smart Urban Farming System, the SMURFs, has actually addressed these issues? And what measures are you taking to ensure that the resilience and adaptability in your farming solutions?
One of the key reasons that the smart urban farming system was created is actually to overcome the environmental problems that we are facing, especially in climate change, and of course to deliver a sustainable management on resource scarcity, like I
Mhm.
mentioned before this, especially on controlling the water consumption, controlling on how much nutrients the plants uptake, and also controlling controlling the soil moisture and anything related. So that's one of our initiatives when we created the smart urban farming
Mhm.
system itself. And then in terms of adaptability, of course, we also implemented an ambience control of the greenhouse to the smart urban farming system, whereby the farmers they can adapt to the daily changes of climate change. Some days there are high humidity, some days are
Mm.
low. So that the system itself is quite adaptable to the
Current
current environmental changes.
environment,
Yeah.
yeah. And as I said, this is a continuation of the questions. So sustainability. We always talk about sustainability. It's a key focus for Talklans, of course. And how do you ensure that your farming system are um, operationally is environmentally sustainable?
Okay. So how do we ensure that our system is operationally sustainable? Is of course, like I mentioned before, our system itself is already quite adaptable to current environmental sustainability, and of course, it's been known that hydroponic itself is a sustainable method of farming itself in terms of resource management and also space. And one other thing that I would like to add on is we also pioneer in the aquaculture sector, whereby we culture fishes in indoor
Indoor.
by
Okay.
using our recirculating aquaculture system, and we do not have to change the water weekly, such as what the conventional fish farming that they currently do right
Mhm.
now. So that itself is already a method of saving the resource scarcity, and that is the the goal that we are going towards to and what we are currently working on.
I see. Okay. So, additionally, what are your plans to expand your technology, maybe make it more advanced, or to make more farms and possibly beyond Malaysia? Do you have any plans for that?
We actually do have some plans to expand beyond where we are now, especially in the Borneo region. We are targeting for actually beyond Malaysia itself, especially the Asian market, whereby we can see a growth of 9.4% compound annual growth rate that's expected to be achieved by 2028. And that's where we want to stand ourselves on as a company. And of course, as a company, we want to reduce our own cost by whereby we intend to create our own self-sustaining ecosystem with our current infrastructures,
Mhm.
where we can create our own produce and materials such as fertilizers, fish brood stocks, the fry, even the feed of the fishes. That's what we are targeting to the this 5 to 10 years time.
Okay. And one last questions. Probably this is n- maybe something that you want to say to entrepreneurs out there, or a young, farmers who wants to do the same thing like you. What are your advice to them?
My advice to them is just start on no matter the scale of what you want to start to, especially if it's small or big or medium. But I would suggest for budding entrepreneurs to start small first and then go your way to up the scale of the of of commercialization. And of course, even if one plan fails, there's always another plan, and never give up. And of course, setbacks are usually what we face in the agriculture scene here in Sarawak. So it's a noble mission to go towards to, and don't give up towards Sarawak food basket lah.
Don't give up. That's the keywords. Don't give up to towards Sarawak food basket, and never make the setback as something that can, like stop you from doing
Yes.
or grow more. That's a actually good advice from Mr. Azrai. And with that, I think we wrap up another enlightening episode of Innovate Sarawak Stories today. I think Mr. Azrai, our conversation today has truly been a fresh breath of air, because agriculture is something that it is known in Sarawak, but there's more. We need more awareness among
Correct.
Sarawakians, to achieve or to ensure that the food security here in Sarawak. Maybe we can start small from hydroponic back, in the
In the
backyard,
backyard,
something
yeah.
like what you did,
Yes.
right? So we've learned about a little bit about Smurf, smart
Smart urban
smart
farming
urban
system.
farming system from Mr. Azrai, which tremendously helped farmers, especially the elderlies, to um, you know save resources, and also
Also providing precision farming.
yes,
Yes.
providing precision farming. That's the important thing. All right. So, heartfelt thank you to Mr. Azrai for having here with us today, for sharing your expertise, your visions about smart farming and also hydroponic, together with the usage of IoT technology in agriculture technology in Sarawak. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in and supporting our local innovations. And for those of you out there who are young, budding entrepreneurs, who are seeking for new knowledge, who are seeking or who wants to create a meaningful networks with seasoned mentors and experts, please head on to Tegas Digital Village and Innovation Hub. On their social media, they are on Facebook and Instagram, and you can find a bunch of the gas program, such as the gas pre accelerator program that Mr. Azrai has won recently. And I believe, we all believe, that Sarawak's future is growing brighter with every innovative idea. Join us next time as we uncover or continue to highlight the trailblazers that shape our states tomorrow. Until next time at Innovate Sarawak Stories. Bye bye.